Are you interested in seeing how I created this beautiful look? Then you need to keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judith, and if you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome back. But if you're new here, please don't make it your last. Please stick around. Don't forget to subscribe. So this was my beautiful client. She came in for her birthday shoot and we created this look just exactly how she wanted it. We started with the micellar water because of course we have to cleanse her face. We need a clean canvas to work on, and she came in with the lip gloss, and of course I have to take it off to apply a lip balm, because imagine applying lipstick on the lip gloss, it doesn't work. So just take it off. Always take it off if they have lip gloss on. And I recommend this Nia Beauty lip balm. I highly do recommend. Next, into the makeup, the green tea setting spray, which I use as my hydrating spray, just to hydrate the skin, make it come alive, and ready for the next step, which was my Zaron hydrating serum, but I lost the clip. So next, the Olay complete lightweight moisturizer. She has an oil skin, so I'm prepping her skin accordingly. The Olay is an oil-free moisturizer, so it works perfectly well for people with oil skin. So just blend. You can use your hand, you can use a brush, whichever one that works for you, but just make sure it blends properly. Next, the power seal, but make sure the moisturizer absorbs properly into the skin before going into the next step. So I use the power seal. This is the oil control and sweat control tonic. So I use it on her T-zone only. Even though she has an oil skin, I'm just focusing on the T-zone because I want other part of the skin to still look, not really mattifying. Next, Stay Matte Premier London Stay Matte Primer. This is a hydrating. This is like a matte primer, but it's not like really dry mattifying primer, so it works. So I use this all over her skin, avoiding directly on her T-zone because I'm going to be applying a mattifying primer on that part. So make sure you just dab your primer into it so it doesn't move the makeup. So next, this is the Gentle Dove primer. This is a mattifying primer. If you cannot afford the Becca or you can't find Becca, this is a great dupe for the Becca, so just make sure you don't sleep on it. So I applied that with my finger, but my finger wasn't working for me, so I got a brush, because sometimes the finger works, sometimes brushes work. So whichever one that works for you, as the spirit leads, just make sure you're doing the right thing. And when you're working with this primer, please just take little quantity, like little by little. You're not rushing anywhere, trust me. So just very little quantity. And this is what her skin looks like before the foundation. So for foundation, I mix these three foundation. This is the Super Stay in number 20, Maybelline Nuban Beauty in L1, and the Blood Cosmetic. I can't remember the shade, but this is what it gave me, and this is just perfect. If you notice, this is like a little bit tan. When working on the skin, I like to do like a tan effect. So by the time I highlight and contour, it just matches to the skin. This is, if you don't look properly, you won't notice that this is a little bit tan, but it is. And just keep blending. And one great tip for having like a flawless foundation around the nose, please don't take foundation directly on the nose. Just use the excessive from your brush and take it to the nose area. Blend with the beauty sponge to seal everything into the skin. And guys, don't forget that under her chin is also part of her face, so you don't want her to have like a makeup that there's a demarcation under her neck. So just make sure everything is one blended. For cream blush, this is my Eye Magic Lip palette, mixing it with the blush from the Tequila in Choi, just to have that pink stroke orange effect. And this was exactly what I was going for, and I got it. So I'm just applying that with the same brush I used to apply the foundation. This is going to help me diffuse the blush a little bit, if that makes sense, but it's just going to help me reduce the intensity. I'm really a blush girl, but I'm trying these days to cut down on the blush. Not like I'm going to cut down on the blush, but I just trying to go soft on the blush. So I use the foundation to just diffuse it a little bit, reduce the intensity, and blend with the beauty sponge. Always blend with the beauty sponge when you are done. So this is my Nuban Beauty concealer in 049. I use concealer for contour, still using the same brush I used to apply the foundation. This brush is like a multi-purpose brush for me. It does like a lot of things for me. It helps. I can use it to apply my foundation, my concealer, sometimes my blush, and the contour. So just make sure you know what works for you and act accordingly. And this is me just contouring her face, and I'm just taking very little quantity, and I use just the brush to do that. So to conceal or highlight her under eyes or highlight her face, generally I'm using the Kevin Aquaid concealer in number 11. It's X11, I think that's SXL11. Oh, what am I saying? SX11. So that's it. So apply it every part where you need to apply, on the chin, under her eyes, under her nose, on the bridge of her nose, and on her temple. That is the forehead area. And when doing this, just take very little quantity. Using the Kevin Aquain concealer, this concealer gives you time to blend, so you can just apply all over the face and go and start blending. But if you're using normal beauty concealer, it's advisable you blend as you go. As you apply, you blend. So before blending, before using my beauty sponge to smooth and seal everything in, I like using my brush to do that first. Spread the concealer, blend it properly, because I feel like my brush, this particular blending brush, just does it for me. Just help me blend properly. And now I'm using my beauty sponge to, blend under the eyes. And when you're doing this, please be light-handed, so you don't like irritate her eyes, because if you irritate her eyes at this point, she will start tearing. And just take it very lightly, so you don't even crease under the eyes and make under the eyes start looking messy. So blend every part, make sure there is no demarcation, the bridge of the nose. Just blend like your life depends on it, basically, because that determines how flawless your makeup is going to turn out. So because the contour and the concealer kind of reduce the intensity of my blush, I went ahead with a cream blush just to intensify it a little bit so it doesn't get lost in the process. I don't know, have you heard that before? How can a makeup process get lost in the makeup process? But just intensify it so it comes out obvious. Yes. And this when my light was fluctuating, it was going down and going up. So to set under the eyes, I like setting with the pressed powder first. So for doing that, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Compact Powder in 306. Doing that, please, very little quantity, guys. Don't pack products, very little quantity. And before you do that, please blend under the eyes. Before you apply anything under the eyes, please go ahead and blend it. So I'm just setting with this powder first. Every part of the face where I concealed, basically, just make sure you're taking very little product. So moving on, after setting with the pressed powder, I went ahead to blend under the eyes again. Went into under the eyes to set with the Mera Cosmetics setting powder in ginger. I was thinking I wanted to mix it with curry, but I said no, let me just go for this ginger alone, so it gives me that, I don't know how they call it, but that's just the look. I didn't want that yellow undertone on there, so I just wanted it to be translucent. That just give me what the concealer looks like. Set every part of the skin where you apply, and make sure you set properly. Don't pack products, because you can do your skin work perfectly well, your foundation, your concealer, contour, blush, everything, and setting it is going to or can mess it up. So if you pack so much product, trust me, it is really going to mess it up. To intensify the contour, this is my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Compact Powder in 440. So I'm just going to intensify the contour just to make it a little bit more obvious. And doing that, I'm taking very little quantity because I don't want that to be too much. So moving on, I'm going to be contouring her nose, bronzing basically with the same Fenty Beauty Pro Filter palette and powder. I don't know why I keep calling this thing palette, but it's actually Pro Filter powder. I said palette again. So to intensify the blush, the more I used my Lady V blush palette, that's a V Beauty blush palette, to do that. Please don't be a lazy makeup artist. Do powder and cream and powder, it helps a lot. So it's all over the skin. I'm using my Fenty Beauty powder, Pro Filter powder in 360 and in 400. No, 360 and 320. So I'm just mixing them together. So moving on to the eyes, I use my Banana Clown eyeshadow on the lid. Went ahead to do transition with a like an orange. I think it's like a burnt orange from my V Beauty eyeshadow palette. And always blend like your life depends on it. Whatever you do on the side, make sure you do on the other side. Moving on, I'm using the brown from the V Beauty eyeshadow palette to just darken the outer corner of the eyes. I remember whatever you do on this eyes, please do on the other eyes, because when you're working with an eyeshadow, it's important to just do on the side and do on the other side, so you can match what you are doing. You don't this like, it doesn't look like too different, like it doesn't even look different at all. Moving on, I used a brown from the V Beauty eyeshadow palette on top of the lids, and I'm just basically blending that into the skin. So currently I'm applying a pigment glue because I'm going to be using like a shimmery eyeshadow on the eyes. So before placing the eyeshadow, please just blend the demarcation so you don't have the eyeshadow moving to where it's not supposed to move. So to do that, I used my compact powder, the Fenty Beauty powder, to do that. So now I'm using like a flat blending brush to apply the shimmery eyeshadow on the lid. Went ahead with a brown to just make sure I blend the demarcation and make sure there is no demarcation, because whenever you're doing your eyeshadow, you don't want to see demarcations. Just keep blending and blending and you achieve your desired goal. I keep switching brushes because one will work better than the other, and I know which will work better than the other. So just make sure you have like different eyeshadow blending brushes on your hand. So to smudge under the eyes, I always do, I use like a brown from like a very dark shade of brown from the V Beauty eyeshadow palette, and I use like a light shade of brown to just smudge it out to make sure it's, you know, blended and not like have like a harsh line. So I have to close the eyes for a more perfect blend. So guys, when you finish your eyeshadow, please always go on the demarcation or where the eyeshadow ended with the powder. This way it gives you like a very smooth eyeshadow, no demarcation will be seen. So for her waterline, I'm using the Merak charcoal black pencil for her waterline. My light was really fluctuating. And moving on, I lined her eyes with the Tehila Cosmetic black gel liner. Guys, I highly recommend this Merak Cosmetic charcoal black liner. The name is actually long, Merak Cosmetic charcoal black liner. I highly recommend it because it's like the blackest pencil I've come across. It's matte and it doesn't irritate, like it doesn't like irritate your eyes. So let's wing it. I did that with my flat brush using my Tehila Cosmetic black gel liner, and now I'm using my mascara before I apply the false lashes, just to put the lashes in place, take out dead excess fallout from the eyeshadow. So I went ahead to do the lips lining with the brown lip liner, because this is actually the look she requested for. She had like a night shoot, so she said this was the look she wanted, and we delivered because she loved it. I used a brown liner to line her lips. Doing that, I take my time to do that because I don't like going over the lips to correct the lip when I am done with concealer. So I usually just take my time, blend the pencil liner, went into the lip, like the middle of the lip, with this cream lipstick from my iMagic lip palette. So I just blend that in, asked her to smile. So I went on top of it with this matte nude from Sultry Cosmetics on top of it. So this is me just trying to blend out the demarcation, just make sure everything seals in. This is like a nude ombre kind of, but we must not see demarcations anywhere, so I'm just taking my time to blend. Always take your time to blend, guys. So I went ahead, applied this Sultry lip gloss in the shade Vein. This is one lip gloss that I am stuck with, and I will keep being stuck with this lip gloss because it just does it for me. So this is it. Just make sure you blend. I keep saying blend because it's actually very important. I asked her to smack. When I finish applying it, I usually like ask my client to smack, so it just helps me like blend any part I might have missed. So finishing up the makeup, I used, this is Balm Beauty powder, mineral finish powder in number 1. So I'm just using my blending brush to just take out excesses from under the eyes using the powder, and I'm barely picking product, so don't pack product, because this look is already looking very nice. Packing product on top of this look is going to completely ruin this look, and we won't want that. And when you're doing this, please be light-handed because you don't want to move your makeup. I went ahead, used another brush with a powder just to touch everything together, intensify the blush one more time for the last time, because blush is very important. If you don't have blush on your makeup, trust me, you're going to look pale. I did the brows off camera because my light was really fluctuating. If you notice, it has calmed down. I don't know, I had low current, it keeps going up and down, so I didn't just let it stop my shine. So I just keep the brow pad, and lashes indeed makes a lot of difference. So this is when I apply the lashes on her. Moving on, spraying her skin with the Nia Beauty setting spray. This is the matte effect. It has the dewy effect and the matte effect. Blow her face, make sure it dries properly. I love using my lash pack, I say this all the time. And on to the next. She's going to carry this makeup for a long time. It's a night shoot, and this is me sealing everything together. Like right now, the makeup is not gonna move. Trust me, it's not going. I literally beat her in this thing to just make sure everything is intact. I use my fan again because it needs air to dry, so I just use this beauty sponge to just, you know, tap on it, because I don't want it to have that very harsh shiny thing it has. Mascara, don't miss the spot mascara under the eyes, and this is the finished look, guys. Oh, this look is given. This looks, it actually looks finer on ground. Like camera is not even doing justice. And this will come to the end of this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment for me down below in the comment section what you think about this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye for now.